So, why not just plant real trees? This is a question I get asked an awful lot, especially when I'm talking about the Super Trees project. So throughout the presentation, I'll give a brief description of this, starting with the issue that we're facing. So, as some of you may know, we're in the middle of a mass extinction of all life on Earth. Up to 200 species every single day are being wiped off the planet forever. And that's because of us. That's because of me and you. It's because through the expansion of our towns and cities, and is to feed our ever-growing population. We really have to change. We have to do things differently from how we have done in the past. It's not an exaggeration to refer to it as an existential crisis. And there's many different aspects and ways that we need to improve. We need to stop using so many pesticides that are killing our pollinators, our decomposers, the things that make up the very bedrock of life on Earth. We need to stop destroying so much habitat, especially hedgerows in the UK, that provide a vital food source for many different animals. We need to stop concreting over every square meter of land. We need to leave much more natural land wherever possible. And we need to plant more. Not just wildflowers that help the pollinators and the decomposers, but also a whole variety. So where do we do that? Well, we do it here. We do it wherever you are in the world. Every one of us making a small change. Every one of these amazing photos, courtesy of Sam Riley, have all been taken in and around our city, in and around Chester. And if we want to keep those species and not have them go the same way as so many have done before, then, as I said, we need to make change. We need to think about the global issue and then act locally. So that's exactly what the Super Trees project is aiming to do. So these are some mock-ups of a regeneration of a space that is in the city centre of Chester and has been for a very long time a really run-down area. So essentially, these metal structures provide an environment that wouldn't normally exist within a city. They allow climbing plants to grow up them to create vertical gardens. That means that you can get so much more biodiversity in an area that wouldn't normally exist. All around these trees, we can plant a whole range of different plants and to make sure that they cater for the bees and butterflies and birds for as long as possible throughout the year. So from early March right the way through till the end of September, and especially these early periods and late periods in the season, because that's when the availability of pollen and berries are so much more infrequent. And there's a lot of things that we're incorporating into the space, especially, again, around the very perimeter. This is in the centre of a roundabout in Chester. And around, you access it via these subways. There's 3 of them leading into the space. And around the outside as well, we're planting, again, almost a wildflower meadow all the way around the outside. So, as I said, providing environments within city centres or within any urban environments for life to exist is incredibly important, because then it means that we can live in a much more harmonious relationship with nature in a way that was that is essential to not only our existence but the whole of the natural world. But there are obviously some issues with having this as essentially a prime piece of city centre real estate. To make this sustainable, to make this not be built upon in the future, we have to be able to incorporate humans into that too. So we've done many different ways to facilitate that. There's lots of new seating areas going in, which means that people are more likely to dwell in the space, to go down there and eat their lunch, and even just make it a more pleasant place to walk through, because, as I said, for a long time it's been really run down. We've got a performance area here. So in the very centre of the space, it means that we can have people playing there right through the day, all the way through to the night. And these trees themselves are going to have LED lights lining the different arms of the tree, which means that the functionality of them is incredible. The detailing is almost like an LED screen. So this, as you can see, the seating area is just over to the left-hand side. So this lighting system will provide a backdrop for the performers that would be in this central space. And then, again, incorporated that, all of the very natural things all around them will make this, the idea is to make it into an eco-hub that people can use, and then also engage with in not only their everyday lives, but engage with it in an educational aspect. So as I mentioned, the seating areas in the space will also be multifunctional, because there'll also be classrooms during the day. So they'll be able to, school groups and lots of different, the zoo as well, and other community groups are able to go down into the space, analyze the data that's collected from the carbon monitors and the weather stations that will go into the trees, and talk more about environmental issues, and start to raise even more awareness. So this is just another mock-up of the trees. As you can see, we've put them at different angles and at different distances from one another, so that the view is almost always changing as you go around. So not content with providing an educational space in the future, we've already started to outreach into different young people. So here we have a local guides group building bug hotels and bird boxes in Story House. We have a local schools engagement, so within the space as well, and each of the subways, they're going to be huge murals, so 25 meters across, 2 meters high, 2 sides, that are going to be educational, because they're going to highlight lots of the issues that our environment is facing, as well as highlighting the amazing things. So there's 3 subways that enter the space. One's going to be themed around land, one's going to be air, and one's going to be sea. So again, the issues that we all know too well, in terms of plastic pollution for the oceans, in terms of air pollution, and also deforestation. So yeah, again, the school groups have been engaged over that, and as I mentioned, the zoo have committed to using it for their school and family groups as well. As important as educating the children is providing a place for adults to be educated, because it is not. We cannot wait for the children who are now in school to become into a position of power, because if we do, then it will be too late. This is a photo of some politicians talking about climate change. If we wait, it will be too late. So providing an environment for them too is really important. And so the way in which we've done that, in the same way we've engaged school groups, we've started to engage adults and other community groups. So we've set up a group that is coordinating the project, and they have many different local figures within them. We've started going down to local park runs with, again, raising awareness about the project. We've put on events. So middle of last year, I did a running event where I ran 100 kilometers in 10 hours. Again, the year before, I did another running event raising awareness. I ran 7 marathons in 7 days, and really pushed the awareness of the project as much as possible. And so we've got people down into the space, giving ideas of how the murals can look. And we've just this was a homeless consultation that we had, and we provided food and got them on board as well. And there's just a whole range of different ways in which we are acting already. We're not just talking about these issues, we're starting to implement them, and it's really important that all of us start to act. So I'm sure you've seen the news on Friday of ways in which many young people have already started to act. So Fridays for Future strike, this was, I think, in Montreal, there was 150,000 people out striking, and this happened in many different places all over the world. In Paris, there was 40,000. In Milan, I think there was 100,000. In Barcelona and all over the world. I was at one where there was in Munich, where there was 10,000 people all striking and all acting towards creating a future that is sustainable. And this is really important. even Uganda had one, and yeah, this has a whole nother load of implications of climate justice and how the worst affected are the ones that have contributed the least, and yeah, but still having engagement from countries who don't have everything like we do is incredibly moving, and yeah, puts us to shame, I think, sometimes. Yes, this is a representation of all the places that happened over the world. This one was actually before Friday, so Friday went even bigger than that, and even more countries. But so many people starting to act. Yes, so I guess the question, as I started with, is why not plant real trees? Why not just plant real trees? And the point is exactly the things that I've talked about there. This space only being 50 by 50 meters across, had we just planted, I think the maximum amount of trees we might have got in there is 70 trees, would not have raised anywhere near the awareness that it has. I would not be here speaking to you about these issues, and we wouldn't, in many respects, also have the variety of environments that we've created within the space. I was going to talk about solar panels and wind farms and rewilding in the south of England, because you know those things are very important. But just side of stage, then I was thinking that I actually don't want you to get hopeful, because I want you to be as scared and as terrified as I am, and then I want you to act. I want you to do all of the things that we've started to do, and all of the things that the Greta Thunberg, who set up the strikes, has started to do, and start to support every individual, every organization that you can, because it's only through action that we're going to change. We have the solutions already. It's only social change that's going to help provide a sustainable future for us all. Thank you.